Hi, my name is Tom O'Toole, and I work for FLIR Systems, who manufactures infrared cameras. And today I'm with Fleming Lund of Infrared Diagnostics. And Fleming is a HERS rater, as well as a BPI certified energy auditor, and a certified home inspector, correct?
That's right.
Well, today Fleming's going to take us around this home that has some energy efficiency issues and show us the latest tools and technologies that he uses to locate air leaks and missing insulation. Now, what kind of technology is he going to show us today?
Well, we're going to do a professional energy audit, and we put a number of different tools into use to do that. The infrared camera, your blower door for leaks, air infiltration. Moisture meters comes into it too. If we are looking at a spot and we think that it may be moisture instead of insulation issue, we confirm that with a moisture meter. We use a bore scope in areas where we maybe need to get in and do a further analysis. And then we usually finish it off with a safety test using gas leak detection on the heating appliances, as well as carbon monoxide safety test.
So this is more than just a standard visual inspection.
Yeah.
This is actually a very in-depth energy audit.
And our goal is to get all the information put together in a report that the customer can really sit down and figure out which steps should I take
To fix the problem.
To fix the problem, and really to get forward and get it done right.
Great. Well, let's take a look around. So we're going to get started now with our energy audit. And Fleming, I guess what's the first step that you take?
Well, I arrive at the house and introduce myself to the customer. We may sit down at the kitchen table, just talk about what kind of issues are in this particular home. And after that, we'll take a walk around so that I get familiar with the layout of the house. If they have had issues with ice dams or draft in a specific room, they can point that out to me. I know then when I come back with my tools where I can maybe diagnose
Get a little bit more in depth.
Exactly, specific problems.
Okay.
Well, this is one of the spots that we're going to be looking further at in detail and see if there's some active moisture. So we'll put the moisture meter on that, and we'll put the infrared camera on it and see if there's any further action needed or whether it's a past old issue. Right here we're looking at like a soffit or a built-in portion of the wall. It's either plumbing running upstairs or maybe part of the heating duct. I probably suspect the heating duct because there's a lot of heat coming out of that.
So the white's actually hotter and the dark is colder on the image.
If it's a heating duct running up, it may just be a metal trunk with no insulation on it. So there's a lot of heat loss right around that. And if the customer would allow us to, and we can go in and verify it with the bore scope, that would be a way of confirming that.
Interesting.
And that may be enough of an issue to just suggest that they should open up that little bit of the wall and have the trunk, the duct insulated. The connection between the framed wall and the fireplace, and this will probably show up a little bit more when we do the blower door test, but this already tells me this is an area that I need to come back and look at because it's pretty cold right down along the brick.
You can see cold air coming right in from the outside.
We'll confirm that once we get the blower door on, then we'll come back with the infrared camera and maybe the smoke stick, and we can certainly verify that that is the case. And these are older double-hung wood-framed windows, single-layer glass with a storm window on them. And, you know, that can work if it's caulked and tight and some good weather strips and stuff like that around it. That certainly can work. So it's not always that you have to go to replace a window. You can actually repair and adjust the window and
seal kind of what's around it. Okay.
And get a existing window to work pretty well.
Yeah, I can actually feel kind of some of the cold air coming in.
Yeah,
from here.
So we see it in the corners. And of course the double hung windows tend to be the worst because there's more potential for openings. A casement window is a little more straightforward and seals better once it's closed.
This room is an addition?
Yeah, this, from the homeowner, we found out that this used to be a screen porch that was converted to a family room. And this is really where they're spending the time, and this was one of the items that was brought up to, this is probably the worst room in the house, where they really want to try to make some modification to make it more comfortable. From the scanning that we see here, this is right over the side door to the exterior. There's some...
Yeah, that's very obvious.
Yeah, some significant gaps in the insulation there. We'll probably have to just put a moisture meter on it too to verify that we're not looking at moisture instead of, it could be a roof leak.
Right, a water leak versus an air leak.
Yeah,
okay.
so, but it has more of the characteristics of gaps in the insulation. We also have a number of recessed lights in this room. Just from past, we know that that's a source of air infiltration.
Mm-hmm.
They don't show a whole lot of leakage right now without the blower door on, but we'll come back to those with the blower door on, and I would suspect that we're going to feel a lot of cold air infiltration from those. So we're going to set up the blower door, and we usually try to find a central exterior door to the building so that we're going to draw evenly from the building.
A blower door is essentially made up of a couple things, right? You've got the fan.
Yeah, we got a huge fan that'll move about 6,000 cubic feet of air per minute.
Mm-hmm.
And then right here we have a frame that's adjustable, so we can fit it into most front doors. And then we have a shrouded canvas that goes over it to create the seal. And the main part of it is the manometer
mm-hmm.
to show us a pressure difference in the building. And then we're going to hook up a computer to it that's going to help us capture the data and do some graphs and some calculations on it.
Okay, so you can take things like the infrared pictures and the visual pictures as well as the information from the computer and actually put in a report for the customer.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
And one of the nice features with this is that a lot of customers will ask me to come back after they've done all the repairs. And now we had maybe 2,500 CFM of air leakage in the building. I come back half a year later and they've dropped it down to 1,500. And
what's CFM?
Cubic feet of air per minute, sorry.
Okay, that's all right.
So that's what the blower door is going to measure for us. And by having that data pre-insulation, pre-air sealing, and then
mm-hmm.
post, we can really confirm that the improvements have taken place. And then if the insulation contractor missed a little spot or whatever, we can locate that, and things can
back
be
in.
Yeah.
So before we get going, there's a couple things we need to take care of from a safety standpoint so that we don't burn the place down.
Yeah, or because these are potentially carbon monoxide producing appliances, and if we're creating enough of a vacuum or suction in the house, even though that this is a sealed combustion system, so I'm not too concerned about this, but
mm-hmm.
let's be on the safe side. So we just want to turn this off.
Okay.
So again, this is a sealed combustion system, meaning that it takes from the outside the combustion air, it brings it right back out again, so it shouldn't be a problem with this either. The older system that has open combustion system, that's where we're concerned, but let's turn it off anyway. And then I usually leave my car keys right here because I want to make sure that I turn these appliances back on again before I leave the house. So I know that if my car keys are sitting right there,
You didn't turn it back on.
I'm not going to be leaving.